Hey, yo, what caused John Fury to change his tune in just a few months? He went from being worried about his son Tyson Fury in the Wilder trilogy to all of a sudden booming with confidence. That's what I'm gonna explore in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Yo, throw a like on the video. It goes a long way when you guys do this. This is your one-stop shop for all your boxing needs. Boxingego, subscribe to the channel. Let's get it. Now, I had to make this video. John Fury, he released this scathing review of his son's upcoming fight. His son pushed the fight back with the Rona, yada, yada, yada. And it says, John Fury launches an astonishing rant against horrible idiot Deontay Wilder, says Tyson Fury will put him in the hospital, right? And he's, backing his son to do some real damage and put Wilder in the ICU in this upcoming fight. John Fury has blasted former WBC champion Wilder after the boxer stated his trilogy fight against Tyson Fury October 9th will be easy, blah, 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 right? Tyson and Wilder have been publicly going back and forth in the build-up to the trilogy fight, which is inaccurate. Wilder really hasn't been going back and forth. He's been posting things here and there. He didn't speak at the press conference much. So it's Tyson Fury and his dad going back and forth, which is a whole separate issue. I got a video coming for that. Says Wilder suggesting it will be easy despite the first fight between the pair ending in a draw and the second with Tyson Fury winning. Tyson's dad had a furious response, called Wilder an idiot, and warned the American that he will be put in the ICU intensive care, right? It says, what do I think about that? This man Wilder is an idiot. That's a crank that is living in cuckoo land. Tyson will put him in the ICU intensive care unit. And I'm telling you now, Deontay Wilder, he's in the devil's, he's not in the devil's playground now. I don't even know what that means. He's not in the devil's playground. He's not getting eaten alive by all those people making your job easier. He's got me now. And we're going to put in so much work in to crush you, my friend, is going to be untrue. So let me tell you, stock up on the toilet roll, mate, because you're going to need it. Because we're training hard. We're training to move mountains, and you're just a bump in the road, my friend. Just a bump in the road, which we'll get to. You're getting it, you dosser. You're a bum, and a horrible bum at that. You're getting it, pal. We're putting the work in. This brain, Tyson's brain, when we unite, we're unbeatable, especially with somebody like you, a one-trick pony with those skinny legs underneath you. He's gonna hit you hard on the chin. You'll break them 2 chicken legs with one shot on your chin. You see, like it's just nonstop. And you will never box again. Guarantee that, pal. Take that on board. You better do. Whatever you better do means. If Fury gets... And then it says, if Fury gets past Wilder and Joshua beats Usyk, Bob Arum believes they should fight next, which is a huge if. Now, this is ironic, funny, sad, all at the same time. First of all, you could tell where Tyson Fury gets a lot of his personality is kind of from his dad. They have the same voice, screaming and yelling and stuff like that. But really, that doesn't win fights. You can say whatever, I'll beat you, you dosser, you big dosser, this, that, and the third. But one thing that I find very ironic is the switch up, almost like a baseball pitcher, the change up that we've seen from John Fury and his son, like what he's saying right here and now in August, first week of August, right? And ripping Deontay Wilder to shreds and say you're a bum, horrible bum, dosser, chicken legs, just old media stuff, right? Not like an intellectual breakdown saying, hey, Tyson's brain, he's gonna move a bit, upper body, like nothing structurally that he's gonna do strategically, that he's gonna do nothing methodical. It's just like schoolyard banter, if you will. And here's the thing, is Tyson Fury keeps calling Wilder a bully, yet John Fury and Tyson Fury, this is like true Karen behavior at its finest. John Fury and Tyson Fury continue to have these scathing reviews and insults, and all the while, like, Tyson Fury just put out a video on his page and he says, Wilder, you're bum, I'm gonna smack you around, you're weak, you're a bum, you're bitch, you're pussy, etc. And then in the same breath, Karen Fury is calling Wilder a bully. I've never seen anything quite like this, but white privilege in boxing is very unique. And, you know, if you have the complexion for the protection, apparently you could call someone, a black fighter, a bully while you're making videos constantly dissing them. Like Wilder, if you go to his page, he's not posting a million stories talking about Tyson Fury. Like, look, this has nothing to do with Tyson Fury. He says greatness recognizes greatness. Byron Scott, for like NBA, right? He's just living his life doing whatever he's doing. You know what I mean? This is the one where he laughed, where he didn't believe Fury in the Rona, right? And then him and his wifey, like just regular videos. But Karen Fury is able to say that Wilder's a bitch, the P word, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna crack your skull, and make a mockery of the allegations that he was cheating. His dad says Wilder's gonna be put in the ICU. And it's just ironic how white privilege works in the sport of boxing, because John Fury, Tyson Fury, they could call Wilder a bully all the while saying all this stuff and making videos and these interviews and stuff like that, and then play the victim, you know, like they're the victim, and Fury's gonna fall back on mental health awareness and say, oh, mentally you got to be strong. Like, where does this come from? Where does this come from? You know, if you're a mental health advocacy, is trash talking really what you're gonna be on? You know what I mean? What you're gonna be doing? But apparently to the Furies, that's what it is. And I mean, I could keep going on and on. Wilder, he says he wants a body on his resume. He becomes public enemy number one. People are doing polls saying he should lose his belt. He should lose his boxing license. He should be banned from the sport. They were so, quote unquote, upset. And this is what I love to interpret and call selective outrage. Old media is good for that. They got selective outrage when a black fighter is doing something, or certain people apparently tethered to certain networks or promotions, then it's the worst thing ever. You know, this is the worst thing ever since the drought, because Wilder said he wants a body on his resume. But John Fury just said Wilder's going to be put in the ICU and he's going to retire and be brain dead. There's even other videos where he said Wilder would die in the trilogy. But the WBC investigates the black fighter, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and they say nothing to John Fury for these types of things. And he says, hey, he says, Tyson Fury's with me. That's literally what he said. If I pull this back up, he says, you're getting it, pal, blah, blah, blah. You're going to get hit. We're putting in the work. And he's like, we, you're getting it. Let me tell you, he's got me now. So this is Team Fury. Fury's back in the UK training. And he says he's got me now. And he's talking about Wilder being deceased from a boxing match and put in the ICU. Nobody seems to care unless Wilder is the one that's making the threat. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, John Fury can't fight for Tyson Fury. So he could say whatever, but he's not the one getting in the ring. You know, he can only try to motivate his son and have these prophecies about what will happen. But either way, to me, it looks bad. Your son is the one that tried to run from the fight and fight Joshua, fight Carlos Takam, fight Adjit Caballero, had to get told to fight Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder by a judge's ruling, an arbitrator's ruling. And importantly, he's going from this type of attack in early August to previously months ago, like the end of May, so basically June, right? May 29th, he said he was worried. So I need the fans in the comment section to answer the questions that I've posed in this video. John Fury upset, this is on DAZN, right? Link in the description. John Fury upset that Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight fell out and he's worried. So the end of May, basically June, he was worried about Deontay Wilder, right? This is like, how can you believe this family, Tyson Fury's family? How can you believe anyone that is saying these things? He says, this is what happens when, and he had, just listen. This is what happens when you get to the top. There's a lot of leeches out there and a lot of hangers on. You can see what's happening in America with him being his son Fury. Appalling work, to be honest with you, diabolical isn't. So he was saying his son is surrounded by yes men, and he said, you're geared up to fight one man, all of a sudden on the 11th hour, it's all sorted in 24 hours. He's signing contracts at a whole other boxing venue. They're around him like locusts. I'm thinking to myself, how can he think straight? He could blame his team, no one else. Anything rushed is no good, and that has been rushed. He was fighting Anthony Joshua. I wanted him to fight Anthony Joshua. You see it in yellow. I had no interest in the Deontay Wilder fight. I told Tyson Fury on a phone call to chuck the belt in the bin, meaning throw his WBC belt away, let Wilder have it, and fight AJ on August 14th as planned. So just a mere few months ago, John Fury, before this ruthless attack, he was saying that Fury should throw his belt in the trash can, and then a month or so later, he's saying Wilder's going to be in the ICU. All of a sudden, after Fury gets Rona, pulls out of the fight, right? So keep in mind, the coronavirus is a respiratory virus and disease that attacks your respiratory system. And some people, it takes months, if not longer, to recover from the effects of the Rona. So now you can understand why people don't believe that Tyson Fury really had the Rona. How are you more confident after your son gets the Rona when he surprisingly comes back to the UK? Like, this makes you think, is he on PEDs? Because we know in the UK it's not as stringent, and he was training out in America, and that's when his father was worried. So why all of a sudden he goes back to the UK and it's this new safe haven and confidence builder? That seems very, very abnormal. You know, are they drug testing him out there? That's the real question. Is Tyson Fury being thoroughly and accurately and efficiently being drug tested in the UK? Because I don't see how your confidence grows after somebody gets something like the Rona in a few months, going from being worried. He said, I'm concerned whether Tyson Fury can raise his game for Wilder, whether he gets complacent and makes a mistake. It's got a good chance of going wrong out there. The danger point is getting a fair play. But now, a month or two later, he's saying, you're getting it, pal. You're going to get whooped. My son is going to beat you. You're horrible. You're a dosser. It's like, how can you believe anything that this family is saying? I rest my case. Use my link in the description, TUBEBUDDY. TUBEBUDDY is an awesome way to make money on this platform. I've been using it for years. Start off at the bottom. Now we here. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. That's it. I'm out.